Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the month of April 2025. You have this card. It says, be bold, make the first move. You have this card. It says, a time to give rather than take. So let's see here, Aries, what is coming up for you. I really don't think Aries has a hard time making the first move, so I don't know. It's like maybe you have been having a hard time making the first move on something, and I do feel that card could be saying it's like time to make the first move on something that you've been thinking about. So, you know, it's definitely possible, even though, like I said, I really don't think Aries has a hard time with this. But I think it would be worth it as well. You know, this could be love, because you have the King and Queen of Swords here. I don't usually like the King and Queen of Swords together because they are two they are a king and a queen who don't see eye to eye. So they are not, you know, they usually can kind of represent two people who are not talking. And so if you want love, you know, this could represent you needing to get out of hermit mode and needing to, like, go approach someone or, you know, flirt, make your move, you know, spit a spitball at them, get their attention somehow, I don't care. Do something, right, with the Hermit, and I think that could work. In your current general energies, you have the Hermit, the Queen of Swords, and the Six of Wands. The Hermit is about being in Hermit mode. We've all been in Hermit mode since November. I mean, we've had nonstop retrograde since November, which is a long-ass time to be under the influence of a million retrogrades, right? And so I think we're all just kind of coming out of Hermit mode. I really don't think it's that big of a deal. I just think it's like, you know, we're all just being asked to get out and get into the world. The retrogrades are pretty much over by like the second week of April. And, you know, we'll be in the shadow through kind of like the second week of March of, you know, some of them. You know, Mars retrograde shadow ends like May. Sorry, I'm all tied up with all the months going on here. I'm going to blame the Mercury retrograde. May 2nd or 3rd is when we end the Mars shadow. So, you know, again, things are going to start progressing through April and start moving forward. You have the Queen of Swords. I mean, I do like the Queen of Swords because she's looking forward. She has her back to the past, and she is seeing things clearly for the first time. She has clouds only halfway up her body, and she's gained a lot of clarity. Mercury retrograde can bring a lot of clarity. You know, even though most people consider it a confusing time, you know, we are processing things from the past and revisiting things and reworking things and all that other good stuff, which can bring in a lot of clarity. So I don't think it's always true that, you know, that Mercury retrogrades are confusing. They can be confusing, but they can also bring a lot of clarity. So I feel you are definitely going to be gaining a lot of clarity here, and that is probably going to be a good thing. One thing I will say is we do have the Tower. Again, I like the Tower personally. I think the Tower gets a bad rap. Really, the Queen of Swords to the Tower would say that, yeah, sure, you could be causing a Tower moment in your life, but the whole point of the Tower is that those people are coming back down to reality. We have not been in reality since November. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, it's like, sure, you could be having a Tower moment, but it's probably a good thing. You know, I always say that towers can be uncomfortable and good at the same time. There are plenty of things I've been through in life where it's like in the moment it sucked, but after I realized it was a good thing. So, you know, it is what it is, and we haven't even clarified yet, so we'll see. You have the Six of Wands. Definitely could be some sort of success or victory coming in for you. You know, again, the Hermit to the Six of Wands says that you need to stand out. You know, he is being celebrated on his horse here. And, you know, all the people around him are celebrating him for his victory. But, you know, again, if he doesn't shine his light with the Hermit, then people aren't going to know that they're supposed to celebrate him. So I think it would be a great time for you to kind of like speak up about your successes or to, you know, kind of show your skills. It's like, I think sometimes I feel with the King of Swords as well, that the King of Swords, he's a card of knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge is just knowing something. Wisdom is having done it, is taking that knowledge and putting it into practice. And so sometimes with the King of Swords, I feel that's like the stage that you're at, where it's like, yeah, you probably do know a lot and probably could make something, whatever it is that you're trying to do right now, very successful. But until you actually do it, then no one's going to know. And so I think there could be a success here, but it's like, it's got to come out. That's kind of the energy that I get here for you, Aries. And it's almost like something's got to come out, right? Let's see. With the Hermit, you have the Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups is about following your heart. We are in a heart-based time, so everybody gets the Queen of Cups, and I pretty much say to everyone that they should be following their heart right now. Like, your heart could be telling you to move towards something or to try to accomplish a goal or an achievement, whatever it is. The Queen of Cups says follow your heart, and you really can't go wrong. Also, an amazing time for intuition, so I would be trusting your intuition here. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, Eight of Wands is quick success. Eight of Wands to the Seven of Wands is kind of like committing to one thing, one focus. I always say the Eight of Wands, we can't be pulling in two directions. Those 8 wands are all pointing in one direction, and that's it. So that includes like our thoughts, our actions, our habits, the people we spend time with, our environment. The more we can get things moving in the right direction, the better. I am convinced of this. I've done it in my own life where it's like I looked at areas of my life that were not matching what I wanted to accomplish, and the second I fixed it, it started working, right? So again, if things are not working for you, there might be some changes. There might be a tower moment that you have to create to get things going in the right direction. And if you do that, things will progress much faster. The other thing I will say is that I definitely feel for you, Aries, that things could just be moving faster after, as we go through the month of April, as we clear the retrogrades. I think it's like I think Mercury goes direct on the 12th, right? Or the 7th, or is that Venus? I don't know. I'm all tangled up. But, again, pretty much first 2 weeks, both of those planets start moving forward in April. And then I think things are going to start moving forward a lot faster. So you might just be noticing the speed. With the Six of Wands, yes, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is mastering a craft. He is learning how to do something, and he is doing it well. He is also working diligently to make something a success. He only has one more pentacle to go. So whatever you're working on, could be yourself, could be your health, could be a business, could be a project, could be a piece of art, doesn't matter. Whatever you're working on, I think that it needs to get attention, as in, you need to show it off. You need to show people what you're made of here, Aries. Maybe that's what this reading is really saying, is that you need to show people what you're made of. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this promotion card. It says elevated earnings come hand in hand with heightened responsibilities. You have this healer card. It says you are able to provide a great comfort and support to those who are on a healing journey, whether their pain is physical, emotional, or spiritual. Yeah, it's like the things you do matter is what I feel like that's saying, really. Like, I'm not getting healing energy on that card. It's not saying healing to me. It says healer, yes, and maybe that's part of it, but, I think it's saying the things you do matter. The thing about the Eight of Wands is, again, if we're going in one direction, then we treat whatever we're working on as if it actually matters. We're not just, like, doing it, And I don't know, that's the message I'm getting there on that card. So there you go. Could also be getting a promotion at this time. You do have the Ten of Wands, which is more responsibility. And so, again, some of you definitely could be kind of getting promotions, or you could be asking for a promotion or a raise. You could, if you have a business or you do your own thing, again, you could be taking on more responsibility with the Ten of Wands. Personally, I like the Ten of Wands because he is very close to his home right here, and he planted those wands. Those wands are his harvest, and he's about to have a harvest when he reaches that home. So I feel for a lot of you that, there could be a harvest coming in for you with the Ten of Wands, which would be really, really good. And I don't know, I like it. So I even though, yeah, you might have a responsibility, I think this is a good thing. You have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, Seven of Wands is my card of conviction. Is that, to me, this card represents developing the belief where that something is going to work. When you brainwash yourself enough into believing that you can have something, then usually you can have it. And so the Seven of Wands says we really, really have to believe that we can do something. And again, affirmations, talking to yourself. I talk to myself all day long. Again, people that see me driving around probably think I'm nuts because, like, when I go for a drive and stuff, I just talk, right? Who the hell cares? I don't care, right? And but again, gas yourself up. I'm a big fan of doing it. Changed my life. So I feel the Seven of Wands is saying that you need to kind of like gas yourself up, believe in yourself more, and show people what you're made of, and that will really make things move forward. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands can be marriage. I kind of feel there's a little bit of love here, but also not at the same time. So I'll explain that in a second, but the Four of Wands is a card of commitment. And so Seven of Wands and Four of Wands is like committing 1,000% to whatever it is you're working on. Like, once you make that commitment and really make something part of your identity, that's when you'll become successful. So if you're working on something, it's like you need to do it. I always use the example of like people, like I used to get the question all the time, like, should I write this book? I'm like, I used to say to people, like, well, real writers write. So whether your book is going to be successful or not shouldn't matter to you. If you want to be a writer, then you should be writing, right? And so that's what I'm talking about. Like there should be some sort of commitment. And maybe the commitment you're making is like a daily practice to that kind of like moves you closer to your goal, or maybe it's that you finally get started and you finally start writing if that's what you're into, or whatever it is. Like I feel like that commitment will lead to the celebration. Four of Wands is a card of celebration. These people are celebrating being married. So again, I think that there could be a celebration, but it needs like some sort of like full commitment. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Four of Wands. Yes. So I wouldn't, my thing with the Ten of Wands is we still have to be careful. Like, again, I think the Ten of Wands is good for you, Aries, but I would really make sure that you're committing to things that are important and not carrying too many responsibilities that don't belong to you. So, while I think it's good, I always do tell people to like exercise caution with the Ten of Wands. You only have so much time in the day. If there are things that you want to accomplish, make sure you're not like doing too many things for like other people that are other people's responsibilities. Make sure you're not taking on too many burdens, right? So I think balance is important, but at the same time, you could be committing to more work, and it kind of looks like a good thing based off this reading. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Six of Wands. It's, we have these repeating cards now, and repeating cards are, whenever this happens in a reading, to me, it's more confirmation for the reading. I look at it as a good thing because it's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. And the Six of Wands is, again, a card of success. The Seven of Wands says once you commit to the success, you will be successful. So I think you just need to commit. With the Four of Wands, you have the Sun. A lot of happiness coming in for you. Could be a lot of joy as well. The Sun is also kind of like a spotlight. So if you don't know what to do, you probably really do. Again, that's another thing. Like I've talked to a lot of people where they're like, I don't know what to do. And then like I'll talk to them and they do know what to do. And so I think a lot of times we say to ourselves too much that we don't know what to do, and then we believe that we don't know what to do. But if we really pay attention to our attention, then we do know what to do. The Sun is your attention. The Sun is like a spotlight in a reading. And it says you need to pay attention to your attention. Your attention, you are probably thinking about an action that you need to take or a direction that you need to move in. The problem could be the Tower, right? It's like maybe you know that what you want to do will cause a Tower moment. It's like maybe you're with a person and like this is a good example. Maybe you're with a person dating and you want to move and they don't. It's like obviously if you moved, it would probably cause the end of the relationship. But it's like maybe the move is what you need to do. And again, we can sometimes a person, no matter how much we love them, is just not right. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here. Although you do have the King and Queen of Swords. Again, they're not seeing eye to eye on a situation. So this might be true for some of you. But it's like at the same time, it's like your attention is trying to get you to go somewhere. Your attention is trying to get you to do something with the Sun. And, I kind of do feel that in this reading, that this could be a tough decision that you're making. You do have the Eight of Swords in the good stuff, though. And, the Eight of Swords in the good stuff is good. The Eight of Swords says you are going to set yourself free. Or, maybe you're going to come up with some sort of solution to whatever you're dealing with here. Next in the area, messages from your future self. You have this courage card and this protection card. Yeah, you definitely are going to have courage with that Tower for sure. And I feel like the protection card is just saying you are protected from, this decision. Like it's nothing bad is going to happen. And I feel you need to realize that. But again, courage is definitely important here. I mean, you have that card that says be bold, make the first move. So there could be a move that you're making and you're gonna have to be bold for, but it's like I feel like you are protected from anything negative. You have the King of Swords, the Tower, and the Temperance card. I really feel this King of Swords at the beginning of the reading was saying you need to turn your knowledge into wisdom. Again, he turns knowledge into wisdom. He learns something and he puts it into practice. He actually does it, the things that he has learned. And so I think that's going to be important for you as well. Again, this could be, that Tower could even be you, like maybe you've been learning a lot about something different and you have a job. This could be you quitting a job and trying to find something based off of what you've been learning, right? And so whatever this is, it's like for an improvement is what I feel the reading is saying. Again, you have the Tower I really feel this is a tower that you are causing. And like I said, I think the tower gets a bad rap. The tower is a good card, really. Well, I mean, it can be uncomfortable, but, like I always say, it's a good card because these people have been stuck in the tower and they've been ignoring reality, and now they're coming down to reality. They are coming back to reality. So, which also makes sense with the retrogrades because also everything else, Neptune and Pisces alone, which we've been dealing with forever, I can't wait for it to leave and move into Aries. It will be moving into Aries, but it's going to retrograde back into Pisces later on this year. So again, I can't wait for it to leave because it's just like too much. But, I feel the tower could be kind of pointing out some realities to you that need to change. And, again, it's not a bad thing to change those things, right? Next, you have the Temperance card. Yeah, turning one thing into another. I mean, the Temperance card should really give you confidence with the Tower because the Temperance card is alchemy. It's able to, the Temperance Angel is able to turn one situation into another or able to improve their situation that they're in right now. There's also a new crown glowing back here, right? So we have the crown falling off of the Tower, and then we have the new crown that's right here on this path. This is called the path to glory. And so a lot of you maybe could be having, the tower, the crown falling off the tower, let me say this, kind of represents the death of establishment. We had Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto and Capricorn is the death of establishment. Things that have been around for a long time are dying. You can literally see it in the world, right? No matter how you feel about it, good or bad, right? But it's not really good or bad. We are just in a time of evolution and change. So, again, on a personal level, there could be certain things that have been established in your life for a long time. Those things are changing. They're meant to change. And the Temperance card says you can change it. You can handle it. With the King of Swords, you have two cards, the Page of Wands and the Empress. So the Page of Wands is about kind of like being excited for a new adventure. A lot of people have been getting this and had this message in like March. Starting like in the middle of March, I kept getting the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is just willing to go on an adventure. He's like not too attached to the outcome. He's just excited for a new direction, and that's it. So I think that if there are new directions, just, not being too worried about the outcome and just saying, I'm just going to see how this goes will be very helpful. Empress is very good, could represent a lot of abundance. Also, if you have your eye on a person here, Aries, like, Queen of Swords to this, like you might be worried that a person wouldn't find you attractive or something, but I think they would, obviously. So for those of you, it's not really a love reading, but if you want love, I would say go for it. Or like I said, throw spitballs, do whatever you got to do to get this person's attention, right? With the Tower, you have the Five of Swords. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. For some of you, this is like a breakup or something. I think you already feel it coming. You already know if that part of the message is for you because, like I said, I think you want to do something. They don't want to do something. I mean, it popped into my head very clearly, that message. So, I don't know. Take it how it resonates. I feel for others, you are just leaving something behind. The Five of Swords is like cutting something out, walking away from something. And, the thing about the Five of Swords is, he's walking away, but he's walking away the winner. So, again, ultimately, I think this Tower is not really bad. With the Temperance card, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about doing things in a different way. It makes perfect sense with the Tower and the Temperance card because the Seven of Swords, he is stealing these swords from this army in the background. Instead of going to war, he is stealing the swords. And so he's doing something in a better way. Temperance is alchemy, turning one thing into another, doing something in a different way. I think that would be very beneficial for you on anything that you're working on or creating. Looking for the best way possible is going to be helpful. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Dolphin Spirit. It says, stop taking life so seriously and splash some joy in your everyday life. Page of Wands, right? You have this Exploration card. It says, right now you need to search and explore. It's okay to wander until you find your home. Yeah, we kind of are in a time of exploration. I always say, that we're in a time of experimentation where I think we should be trying new things and just kind of seeing how things go. And, I love experimenting, obviously. I mean, look at my channel. I run experiments all the time. So, like, right now I'm experimenting with making my videos 25 minutes long, right? So all my videos for the past 2 weeks, that's my new experiment. Why? I don't know. I don't have a good reason. I just want to see what happens, right? And by experimenting, it has changed my life. I think my numbers speak for themselves, of course. So, I do this in all areas of my life. I'm always trying new things, just seeing what happens. I don't attach too much to the outcome. I just say hey, I wonder what would happen if I did this. And then I run it for 90 days. That's my rule, right? And so, that's kind of what I mess around with. And I feel that would be a good kind of like practice for you. I think the funny thing is you and Taurus always get very similar readings. And I think if you have like Taurus in your chart, like a lot, I would go watch that Taurus reading. I think I said the same thing to them. So again, it makes sense. You have the Eight of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Wands in the area of the good stuff. The Eight of Swords, is a card of feeling stuck, but it's showing up in the good stuff, so that would say that you are probably discovering new or different solutions to anywhere in your life that you are stuck. Could be coming through a Tower moment, but again, this could also say that a Tower moment is the thing that is going to be setting you free, since the Eight of Swords is coming up in the good stuff, so I feel pretty good about it. Next, you have the Three of Wands. I love this Three of Wands for you for some reason. I feel really good about it. Three of Wands can represent your ships coming in. But there are 3 boats here on the water, and those 3 boats are pointing out of the harbor. So I feel a lot of you, I kind of just get opportunity here with the Three of Wands. Like you are seeing, the Tower and the Eight of Swords would represent only seeing one way to solve a problem. The Three of Wands would say that you have at least 3 ways that you can solve a problem. So it's almost like you are broadening your horizons. You are, expanding how you accomplish things in your life, and this is giving you more options, right? And so I feel pretty good about this. We are in a kind of like an expansive time, so I think you could be expanding as well. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands can also be like a light bulb moment. The Tower can be a light bulb moment, a sudden realization where you realize like what steps you need to take. The Ace of Wands is also out with the old, in with the new. So yes, this castle is crumbling just like the Tower, but there's a much more passionate new beginning coming in with the Ace of Wands. And so I feel for a lot of you, if you are creating a Tower moment, that you could be having, right very quickly, like I said, with that Eight of Wands, you could be on to something new that's going to grow much better. So I'm not even worried about that Tower. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords is curiosity. So again, if you have been feeling stuck, the Page of Swords here says that being curious, kind of like playing with life, being willing to explore new directions, new ideas, and just being curious is going to be very helpful for you. With the Three of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, Ten of Swords in the good stuff is a blessing in disguise. So again, that Tower moment, the Ten of Swords kind of is like a Tower moment. So that Tower moment is going to be a blessing in disguise. I'm pretty sure I said something about how sometimes things happen where you don't realize it until the future that it was a good thing. Right here. That's what the Ten of Swords says. So the fact that it's showing up in the good stuff is a good thing. It's saying that you are going to realize this very quickly, that if something isn't working out, that it's a good thing. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords represents healing your heart in the good stuff. And so a lot of you could be like doing things to heal your heart or to heal how you feel about things, or, whatever the case may be. So that looks pretty good. You have this harp card. It says great happiness on it. You have the sun, which is great happiness. So a lot of you could be, attracting more happiness, or building more happiness in your life, which would, is always a good thing with the sun. You have this July card, then you have this finger card that says warning you of a problem either now or in the future. The first thing that popped into my head here, Aries, is like, don't ignore things that are happening. Like if you can take care of any issues like right now, don't wait until July, right? It's just going to be a pain in the ass. I always say like, last year, I had an old car, right? And I never sent in my plates to the state that I used to live in, right? And, so then like last year, it was like 2 years later, right? Last year, I got like a notice that I owed a bunch of money because I like never sent in my plates, and I was able to take care of it, and it wasn't a big deal, and they didn't charge me that much money, but it's like one of those things, like I knew I should have taken care of it right away, right? And I shouldn't have been so lazy. So, and I ended up having to like wait on hold for hours, like one day. And it's like not that big of a deal, but it was annoying, right? And I feel like that's what I'm feeling here. Like I feel like I needed to tell you that. So, if there's something you can take care of right now, like sending your plates in or whatever, like do it. Because it's like, it might not be that big of a deal in the future, but it might be a pain in the ass. So I would be careful. You have this Scales card that says keep your life in balance. Yes, definitely, balance things out. You have this Crown card. It says honor and respect will come to you. 6 of Wands, twice. The crown falling off of the Tower. The crown in the back of the Temperance card. There is definitely something about this reading that says you could be kind of reclaiming your crown or claiming a new crown and, getting a new position or something, and that's definitely possible. You have this gavel. It says involvement with the law. I would be careful with speeding for sure. Or any of that stuff, right? So I would just be careful. But other than that, I like this reading. Even with the tower, it doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother you in this reading either. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.